Okay, this is going to be a big one. Um, wow. So the Marvels projects. I kind of waited, got through some albums, and just decided I'll put all of the Marvels projects in one episode instead of spacing them out. So let's start from the beginning. Let's start from Marvels, the original. Um, the original Marvels project was the brainchild of me, Pop Casso, and Diero Quinton. I had been, working some sessions with Pop, and we were working on him getting back into music more heavy and working on his debut album. And, the idea of collaboration struck because he was sharing stories about when he was a teenager, when they were in Fayetteville, and they used to be in a group called Bang Out. And, they had varying levels of success back then. And he was saying how, when they did studio sessions and stuff, it was always, multiple people. And that's just how they worked. They all got together and stuff. And that was not how I operated at all. I was always the person that was it's just me in the room by myself and I'm working and I'm getting stuff done. So we're sitting and we're communicating, me and Pop, and I'm like, okay, well, I'll think about it. I'll think about like how we can do this and how it'll go. Right. So fast forward a little bit, I come up with the title, The Marvels. And it is not to do with the MCU and Disney Marvel, but it was legitimately just the definition of a Marvel, like just, like an astonishing individual, you know? So my plan after we started having these conversations, I messaged Darion, Diero, and we had the understanding of like, I would have one room set up to record. I could put him in another room set up to record. We just have two computers going, two microphones going, everybody's recording. Dontre shot the video for us for the documentary of the first one. And just try to have a good time. I ordered some food. My sister picked up some food and she dropped it off, and we were just all in here. The plan was set up, have one whole day, whatever we make in the studio that day, that's what the project was going to be. Just everybody coming together, collaborating, and, whatever happens, happens. Around this time, I am also, going back and forth with Pop because, I've always run a label, whether it was the early phases when it was London Entertainment Music Group before London ENT, and then it transitioned into 1033 Records. I've always run my label, but my label post high school was just me. I had tried to sign people and do all of that earlier on, but it just never worked out. I always felt like I was the one like pushing them and wanting them to work. And I was just, no, that's not what I want to do. But Pop was the one when we were having these conversations. He was like, oh man, but it seems like you kind of do all of that for people anyway, because I was engineering a lot more at this point. So I was doing, I think maybe like 7 or 8 other artists, and I was engineering for them and helping them get projects done and cover art done. And I was doing a lot. And he said, you're basically running a label anyway. You should, double down on it and, really expand it out. So I was not too gung ho about that idea. I was not feeling that idea at all. Because I was kind of set in my ways about just, focusing on me and, just 1033 is very personal to me. And I didn't want people to come in and disrespect it and not be able to work and put out projects and blah, 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 blah. So we're having those conversations. And then, that conversation pauses for a bit and we get back to just the Marvel stuff. And we're working on organization, getting the project done and stuff. And I have the conversation with Pop and Diero and the other artists involved I want to say for Marvel's One, I think we had like maybe 10 people participate total. One of them was my student, Clue. He was in my group at that time. I think he was only in like third grade when he did his songs. He wanted to rap, and he said that he had beef with Kids Bop back at the time, so he wanted to make his own music. And I was like, hey, I'm all for it. Kids want to do anything, I'm always going to support the kids in their endeavors. So everybody else, we're working and stuff, and I'm bringing up the conversation of royalties and stuff because I'm still very business minded at this point. I was starting to get more focused on the business aspect of a lot of this stuff. So we have the conversation about royalties and everything, and I say I'm fine giving splits to everybody. And my splits will go towards funding the 1033 Foundation and the Bell Jones Scholarship. So that is where the business side kind of ingrained to the artistic side. So all the Marvel's projects were used as fundraisers, so to speak. Um, I alone was not able to always pay out $500 here, $500 here for these academic scholarships. So I would use the music to try and, offset some of the money that I was setting aside from my paychecks. I was using the money from music to try and, help lessen that blow financially. Um, some years it was, straight up just, the $500 scholarship. Some years it was we would buy like computers for kids, or we would invest in art supplies or whatever it may be. So everybody was cool with that. We finish it up, and right at the end, Pop does a song called, we had two last minute songs. One was Comets, which was Pop Casso featuring Shantae. And Shantae had a voice she was a very strong R&B gospel singer, and I had never engineered a voice like that. So I won't even say I was used to, I was getting accustomed to engineering other rappers besides myself. This is when I was really starting to try and improve in my engineering capability. So I don't feel like I did her vocals justice, right? So um Pop's brother also felt the same way. Styles, he engineers Shantae Penfields, and we had to wait a little bit because he was doing the engineering for Shantae and sending it back, and I was trying to match it and learn and this, that, and the other, and it was a little bit of back and forth, a little bit of hold up there. Um, and during that hold up, the project got delayed only by a few days, I want to say, because we were waiting on that change for the vocals on that. That song would end up going um, towards Pop's debut album, but that's down the line, and I'll talk about that a little later in my involvement with that during the Marvels projects. But yeah, overall, it was a very enjoyable experience to do the Marvels project and get it documented, and just see how all of that came together. And that was really my first time like being the leader in terms of like a group of people. Like we weren't a group, but we were just a collective of collaborators at that moment, and having to be the one that's like, okay, I'm going to handle getting samples cleared and getting beat licenses and talking to the producers and, getting things distributed and, all the logistics, getting the artwork done, all of that stuff, engineering. So overall, great experience. Looking back, you can tell that the project was recorded in one day. It definitely sounds like it. I think I took maybe maybe a week tops, um, with the exception of the extra time when Penfields had the mixing for Comets. But yeah, other than that, everything for that project was start to finish in not a whole lot of time. So let me play a song from the Marvels, and after that we'll get into the Marvels 2.
Start gazing and high stepping, that's moonwalking. Heard heavenly vocals as if the moon talking. Forever strive for your purpose, got plans for you to win. Express yourself and be different, be who creates a trend. Anxiety not the focus, just pray to God for calm. Success embodies your future, suggest you read the palm. Pursue a comet, wish on a star, change constellations. Align with planet, cracked hourglass, no time for wasting. Guts the glory, just tell your story, inspire them. If a naysayers no worry, never perspire them. No autobio, I'm not the author of fearful thinking. Drown them in oceans of wisdom, don't save them, let it sink in. Be catalyst for black excellence, show them how it's done and shine brighter than any star, channel your inner sun. No way to clock it, so stop it, no way for you to time it. It's dream big, shoot for the moon, become a comet.
I keep my hopes high and my spirit too. I hear a voice in the sky, hope you hear it too. It says keep on dreaming, never wake up. Keep on dreaming, never wake up. Oh, shoot for the stars. Says keep on dreaming, never wake up. Keep on dreaming, never wake up.
Set the bar, reach new heights, being right, brother. Stay the course, never deviate, do it right, brother. We need a go, but make her proud, your mother looking down. Change the earth, shake up the world enough to crack the ground. And do it cause it's necessary, not cause they around. Trees steady falling in the forest, you don't hear the sound. Gave you the run, I get it done, I put my faith in you. This hit predestined, your design, what you was made to do. Avenge the fallen, answer your calling and save a few. Move different cause you different, you was made anew. Govern thyself, strut as a king. Knowing this wealth, just know yourself, never deny. Who gave you breath? Follow your path, master your craft. Give them what's left, fly as a fail. You make the call, you be the ref. Twinkle, twinkle, oh shooting star, wonder where you are. Flow astronomic, just be like comet and you go far.
I keep my hopes high and my spirit too. I hear a voice in the sky, hope you hear it too. It says keep on dreaming, never wake up. Keep on dreaming, never wake up.
Coming off of the Marvels project, me and Pop and Diero, we had the conversations about like, man, that was cool. Maybe we can do it again sometime. And I like that idea because it was different for me to have, you know, the studio full of people and everybody's recording and laughing and having a good time and stuff like that. That was different for me. So I was like, yeah, okay, sure, no problem. We could try and schedule that out again. And it was like, okay, one in the summertime, one in the wintertime, I think we waited almost a whole year for Marvels 2, maybe. And if it wasn't a whole year, it was relatively close. But No, it couldn't have been. I think we did like Marvels 1 and then Marvels 2 same year. Um, Even though I put it out in 2020, I think we recorded them in the same year. Um, yeah, because it was definitely wintertime. It was colder in the house during Marvels 2. And then Marvels 3, Marvels 4, those got put out the same year. But focusing on Marvels 2. Marvels 2, when me and Pop and Diero were having the conversations, we wanted to sort of limit the issues that we faced the first time. So I was like, we do it bigger, we do it better, and everything improves. So where we only had maybe 10 artists on the first one and everything was done in a day, we might have had 20 artists on the second one. And I sent out beats. Like I had been I've been having conversations with producers for weeks after Marvel's 1. And I was getting sent, folders of beats, packs of beats, just, calling in favors from producers and stuff about these charity projects that I was trying to do. And I ended up with maybe 70, 80 beats. Some of them I paid for up front, even though some of those beats didn't get used. Some of them, the producer were like, hey, I want this to be my contribution to the project. So all of that I set up first. Then I set up folders per artist and per producer. So I sent these links to everybody involved, and it was like, hey, who can make the in-person session? Who can't make the in-person session? If you can't make the in-person session, that's cool. This is the deadline for sending me files, because this is when we're planning to release. If you're coming to the in-person session, pull up, ready to work. You can write on the spot. You can write in advance. Didn't matter to me. And I did it, same thing, one day for recording. And I started like 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock. And I was like, hey, we can be here all day. I don't have nothing to do. I set aside my whole day for this. Same thing, set up one room, I'm recording, another room, Diero was recording, or Pop was in there recording, whoever. Pretty much everybody knew how to run the software at that point. We just had 2 rooms going so everybody could try to get in and get their verses laid. While all of this is happening, Dontre shooting video again for us. Diero helped shoot some video for us. And I'm looking around and I'm like, okay, stuff is going a lot smoother. I had a lot of people send their vocals in. Some of them I had to do more work on when it came to editing because they didn't have studios to go to or properly treated recording setups. But hey, we made the best with what we could. And in person, again, we were here all day. It was a good experience. Everybody pulled up, same thing, order some food, lots of jokes, lots of, like, you can see some of the stuff if you go back and watch the documentary, but it was a good time. And I also feel like the quality of the songs improved going into Marvels 2, where I took a back seat for Marvels 1. Marvels 2, I was much more hands-on. I was helping write. I was featuring on songs. I was in the mix more. I wasn't just an engineer. So it was definitely an improvement. After it was all said and done, I saw areas where it could improve more, but compared to the first one, it was a massive improvement. We actually had so many songs that I'm pretty sure all of them couldn't even fit on the project. Like, I think we maxed out, and I think we had like 34, 35 songs, and it just told me that I couldn't add any more to one album. So it was a big project at the time. I treated it more like an album. I gave it a rollout. I put out some singles for it. Unfortunately, I still have battles with Apple and Spotify occasionally where they'll take Marvels 2 down or they'll take Marvels 1 down and they'll say, oh, you don't own these songs, whatever. And I'm like, man, that's crazy because I bought the beats for these songs and, they were part of the Marvels project. But I made the mistake of telling people, oh yeah, no problem. You can put the song up yourself as well. But back then I didn't have the ability to put like it's a the Marvels 2 by Cameron London, but I wasn't able to do track level artists on DistroKid, I think I was using at the time. So that kind of messed some stuff up, and I still have issues with them from time to time. But overall, everything improved. A lot of the people that met during the recording session, they went on to have some collabs themselves outside of Marvels. A lot of them have somewhat retired now, which is unfortunate. But during that time, it definitely brought out a lot. I mentioned Pop Casso and Bang Out. He was able to get, his brothers in and bring them out of retirement a little bit and have them rapping again. So it was a lot. A lot of positives came out of doing the Marvels 2 when I could have just said, one didn't really go as planned. It was great. It was a great experience, but we're going to wrap it. So I'm glad I did decide to do Marvels 2, and it was a really good experience. It birthed one of my favorite songs, and this is kind of when I got more into attempting to write for people. Hypnotizing with D'Aro Quinson, D. Smitty, and Pop Casso, I wrote the hook for, and originally I recorded the hook. But after realizing like, hey, I'm still not trying to be on the project that much. I just want to have I wanted to be the executive producer and engineer. I wanted to kind of like play matchmaker with songs and like, okay, you hop on this and you do this and do. I wanted that experience to see how that felt. So I passed it off and I was like, hey, D'Aro, I wrote this. You think you can do this hook for me? It's for one of the songs on Marvels. And he was like, oh yeah, no problem. I'll send it to you as soon as I get to the house. Cause he didn't record in person cause he was running the other computer and doing camera work. So I'll play Hypnotize or Hypnotizing. I don't remember which way we titled it, but yeah, that song actually got a little flack from Pop's audience because they thought that he was like getting out of the boom bap and real hip hop stuff because he was using auto-tune and the subject matter. But when you listen to the song is about someone taking advantage of you and, the drugs involved in situations like that. So it's not we're glorifying any of this. It's a song addressing the negatives and the way that, men could be drugged and taken advantage of in situations like that. So I'll play Hypnotizing. And then after that, we'll get into the Marvels 3.
The Marvels.
She draining me, think I'm dying. Something about the way she whining. I don't really care if she lying. Her eyes so hypnotizing. She draining me, think I'm dying. Something about the way she whining. I don't really care if she lying. Her eyes so hypnotizing.
She draining me, got me thinking that I'm dying. Everything I make is fire. I sit and invest in the hydrant. Real good at hypnotizing. That's how she bringing the clients. Think that she giving them guidance, but she don't even have a license. They come around and know I be up, stacking up dollars and God we trust. They hating on me and it's all because say they don't know what they saw in us. Number one pick, so lie me up. I spent to the money, make you watch my dust. If you get my way, you see a whole lot of red. I'm feeling like Playboy Cardi. Let me switch it up. Like 50, I get rich or die trying. In the coupe on 2 wheels, starting to feel like I'm sidewinding. He talking tough, then I sideline him. It get rough at the top, just like barbed wire. Put my name in the sky, just like a tall tower. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
She draining me, think I'm dying. Something about the way she whining. I don't really care if she lying. Her eyes so hypnotizing. She draining me, think I'm dying. Something about the way she whining. I don't really care if she lying. Her eyes so hypnotizing.
Hypnosis, snap your fingers and I follow commands. Room spinning, then I fall in a trance. Mood swinging, must be popping his hands. Pin zoned out, focus. Sort of lack of, need a Adderall, need a padded wall. See illusions, must be head trauma, see contusions. These intrusions, so invasive, but your body movement so persuasive. I'm addicted, I'm conflicted. Got me underwater so I can't breathe. Got me trapped in it so I can't leave or I won't. Could fight, but I don't. Could fight, but I don't. I'm captivated, not a captive. I'm activated, she attractive. She pathological, she lie a lot, but I'm tuned in, she an actor or actress. Whichever word, got my vision blurred, cause I sipped on her a little too much, a little too fast. Never drink and drive, but I could crash.
She draining me, think I'm dying. Something about the way she whining. I don't really care if she lying. Her eyes so hypnotizing. She draining me, think I'm dying. Something about the way she whining. I don't really care if she lying. Her eyes so hypnotizing.
Before I fully dive into Marvel's 3, I did forget to mention before the song, there was one major hiccup that we had during Marvel's 2 where I make all clean music. So I did say, hey, everything that happens here has got to be clean. And not everybody followed that message. So I had to do a lot of censoring on tracks. I had to make a lot of clean versions. But there was a couple times where it was just like I had to veto, like, no, absolutely not. We cannot have you saying that on this track. I got children that listen to this. I don't want you to say that at all. You can say it. But I either gotta censor it super heavy or I gotta take this song off the project and you can have it for yourself because that's kind of ludicrous. So we ended up censoring it, but yeah. The Marvels 3. We had to change pace a little bit for Marvels 3. We did try it. But it wasn't going to be able to be done the same way because that's around the time COVID was hitting and lockdown was in place. So I knew everybody wasn't going to be able to pile up over here and, take tests and do all of that. And I was like, no, that's not safe. I don't want everybody trying to do that. So we did multiple sessions where, a couple people came this time, a couple people came this time, a couple people came this time. And we still got it done, but I had to change the structure of Marvel's 3. So when you look at Marvel's 3, you may notice I'm on every single song compared to Marvel's 1 and Marvel's 2. So Marvel's 3, I had to take the initiative of, okay, I'm going to make a bunch of songs and leave a bunch of open verses and open hooks and, let everybody decide what they want to hop on. You can send me verses, or if you need to come and record in person, you can come and record in person. So we do that and, everything's going good. I'm getting songs knocked out, blah, 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 blah. And this one ended up being more of a me album with collaborations than a fully collaborative album. And I think that's okay. I think it was a nice change of pace for the moment. It allowed me to work with some artists that I had never worked with before. And, it birthed a few really interesting songs. So there's not as much interaction that went into Marvel's 3. It was very quick, concise. Honestly, the original name for Marvel's 3 was Summer Singles because we weren't going to do a Marvel's 3 after, all of the COVID stuff. So I had already planned on that being Summer Singles, and I had also prepped down the line Summer Singles Volume 2, which was going to have, features like that where it was a lot of me songs with a bunch of features. So for a long time, Summer Singles Volume 2 just sat there And there was no Summer Singles Volume 1 because Summer Singles Volume 1 was actually the Marvels 3. I will... Wait. I forgot. I almost forgot. Marvels 3, the sessions for Marvels 3, it actually worked out that we didn't have like a super big session because this is also the time where we were working on Pop Casso's debut album. We had started years before, but now it was like really getting real. Like we had a title, we had a cover, everything was, everything was moving well. And when Marvels 3 dropped, I think 2 days later, Pop's debut album dropped. So it was a good 1033 time. Because I did forget to mention, this is also the time where I made the decision, yes, I'm gonna run 1033 like a proper record label. And Pop Casso was actually the first artist I signed to 1033, and his album Juanita was the first album from an artist other than myself on 1033. So it was a real good time. We used some of those sessions during the Marvels 3 to come up with some of the songs for his album. I think I wrote one of the songs was actually a Marvel song, and then I gave it to him, and he did a full version of it. And yeah, the rest was history. So it was a good experience. It wasn't as grand as doing Marvels 1 and Marvels 2, but everything else that came from it, it was a really good time. So I'll play a song from Marvels 3, and then we'll get into the final Marvels projects, the Marvels 4, and the prelude, a Marvels project.
The Marvels.
With everything going on, I just had to get off of the phone and spend some time alone in my head. Stepped out of my zone, cause somebody really want me gone. So they put a price on my head. But I'm like, woosah, 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 woosah. And I'm like, woosah, 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 woosah. Man, I'm chillin'.
Talk about danger. Somebody really wrote me dead. Put you up petunias, shoulders, bullets fly around my head. Really got me dunking from nothing. You really think you had me scared? Black dude in a cloak with a hook for a hand. Nothing sweet, but I'm candy, man. Burning up to say my name 3 times. Thank God I'm a family, man. Now hold it. It's COVID. Too close that I might get ill. Gotta keep my distance. Need assistance? I'll tell you right off that hill. Armageddon. Where we headed? The world coming to a screeching stop. They want us out of here. We're evicted. 27 by undercover cop. Knee on the neck, I can't breathe. Now everybody say my name. The whole world feel my pain. The way he died was a shame. Something gotta change. Dang, the city going up in flame. Wonder who to blame. Government's on my brain. Bang. Dispose of the body. Call it an accident. Maybe it's suicide. Make it believable. This is conceivable. I don't know, you decide.
With everything going on, I just had to get off of the phone and spend some time alone in my head. Stepped out of my zone, cause somebody really want me gone. So they put a price on my head. But I'm like, woosah, 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 woosah. And I'm like, woosah, 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 woosah. Yeah, I'm chillin'. Scrolling the gram, see all the posts. I see they treating my life like a joke. I got a flow, just so they know. I'm bringing out Georgie with the yellow coat. They don't like it, think that I quit. When all this time without dropping a hit. Think that some comments gon' push me. I know that you racist, some things I can't never forget. Foot on my neck so you know I can't breathe. Don't think that I'm ever gon' call the police. Sadly, we dying on camera and so many people ain't never gon' wanna believe. I got a DM, 11 p.m. Said I don't like niggas, I wish you was him. Killed by the police, it'd be a relief to dump off your body and go back to sleep. Man, you for real? We got a deal. Lucky these beats all I'm ever gon' kill. You digging my grave? Please dig another and make sure you finish your will. This is a feeling that I couldn't shake. No, I'm not perfect, I made my mistakes. Crying online, I know you for real. Plus I know all of your sentiment fake. So, North Carolina, come on and raise up. Take your shirt off, twist it around your head, spin it like a helicopter. My life don't matter what they keep saying to me. Feel a fire in my bones, I just need a everything. Hold up on a hook, take another look. Killers and they try to put blame on the book. Burning it down, got flame, I'm a cook. Young black man and they think I'm a crook. Knowledge is king, that's cool, Mo D. Peace got a price and it don't come free. Can't be blind to the things I've seen. Use my voice to intervene. Like, mentally all of this draining, but I can't afford to be silent in times. Blooming was major development, see, it was more than me growing in rhymes. Depression was holding me back, I pushed through it, but that was just making me sick. I'm taking a break from the hustle, I'm learning my lessons and hoping they stick. Everything going on, I just had to get off of the phone and spend some time alone in my head. Stepped out of my zone, cause somebody really want me gone. So they put a price on my head, but I'm like, woosah, 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 woosah. And I'm like, woosah, 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 woosah. Man, I'm chillin'.
With the Marvels 4, when I had the conversation with Pop and Diero about it, because, you know, we had did all of them together up until this point, and I wanted them to be involved in the decision making. We had a lot of hurdles that we went through with Marvels 1, 2, and 3. A lot of them I don't discuss just out of respect of, you know, people's personal business and things like that. But there was a lot of issues that took place that, whether they halted the release and, you know, slowed things down, or whether there were genuine arguments among artists and like, nah, man, I'm not pulling up if they there and things like that, right? So a lot of that did happen, but I tried to always focus on the positives of the projects and the events. But we did have that conversation, and I was like, man, I don't know. I remember I broke down about it on the phone. I broke down about it a little bit because I was just like, man, I don't get it. Like, I'm just trying to give people opportunities to work, to collaborate, and this is how stuff goes. Because I had spent thousands out of my own pocket, not music money, because like I said, I've never been too financially successful with music. Every dime that I spent on the Marvels projects and buying beats and paying for food and licensure and, you know, cover arts, and because I did design the original Marvels logos and stuff, but Ugly Art did the cover art for Marvels 2, the alternate cover for Marvels 2, and the cover for Marvels 4 and the prelude. So I'm just like, man, why does it feel like everybody fighting against just being chill about the situation and getting some work done? So I was going through it around this time, and I made the decision like, yeah, I think this is gonna be the last one. Like I'm sinking so much money into it, and songs get out and then people don't promote the songs, and, you know, there's some issues and there's some back and forths and there's some arguing, and, you know, there was a bit of disrespect. I'm not gonna go into the disrespect because I've moved past it, but there was a bit of disrespect in some, mind you, by people older than me also, because I'm just like, what was it, 4 years ago? I was 25 still. Yeah, 24, 25. And I'm like, dude, like, these are like 30 plus year olds. Why are they beefing with me? Like, I'm not bothering nobody. I'm just trying to help. I'm trying to be helpful, stuff like that. So talking to Pop, talking to Diero, and we decide Marvels 4 is gonna be the last one. I take into consideration all the issues that I had before, and I try to rectify every single issue. So I partnered up with a company, I believe it was High Note, we had partnered with to do the base of operations for Marvels 4. And you would be able to chat in the message feature on there about songs. I could upload demos and I could show like version 1, version 2, version 3, all this. It was basically a nice music suite that we would be able to use for collaboration, and everybody would be able to communicate on there. But then I decided against it because I was like, no, let me discover more about this platform first, and then I'll use it down the line. So that was on me. I thought against my better judgment, and I got nervous about it, thinking, oh, it'll be too complicated and people won't do it. And I was like, nah, let me just go back to the old school. So I made an Instagram group chat, and I set up some Google Drive folders, similar to what I had done for Marvels 2, but I my organization was 10 times better. Like everybody had their own folder. I limited it to where I was the only one that could move stuff. You would have to tell me like, hey, I like this beat. Can you move it to my folder? Bet, no problem. So I was handling all the organization and everything like that. So fast forward a bit, things are in swing. People are, listening to beats. Producers are still sending beats. People are sending demos in, and one of the artists in there was talking about how he was like, oh man, Cam gonna make a double album. He dropping 2 discs. And I was like, nah, like don't tell him that, because like in my mind I had already made up, like if this is gonna be the last one, I want it to be good. I want it to be, a real quality body of work. And I don't want a whole bunch of extra songs that are just kind of fluff. And if I gotta cut anybody's songs, I don't want anybody's feelings to be hurt thinking it's going to be 2 discs and then only one comes out and their songs got cut. Mind you, I had said that I was trying to be more business oriented about this, because now that I was really trying to run 1033 properly. So I was against the double idea, and, bro kept saying it in the chat, and I was at work. So the messages were going crazy, with people in there joking around and, communicating and stuff. And I was like, bro, I'm going to have to mute you from the chat, remove you from the chat if you keep going, bro. Like, this is getting crazy. And I remember I moved him from the chat, and I forgot to put him back because I was just playing. It wasn't like, oh no, he really kicked out from the project. It was just, I couldn't have my notifications going crazy like that while I was at work. I'm teaching. School day's going. And I forgot to put him in there. The kids are in there. They're going crazy. I'm doing attendance. All this stuff is going on, and I forget. And we go outside for recess, and I'm like, oh, dang, let me, turn my notifications back on. And I turn on my phone, and it's blowing up in there, and people going back and forth, and some voice messages were in there with some choice words. And I get a call from Pop, and I get a call from Montana, and they're like, hey man, what's going on? What they talking about in there? What's going on? Like, you need me? And I'm just like, wait, I'm confused. What is happening? Cause I thought stuff was still just jokes. But that's when I realized, oh man, that's on me. I forgot to put him back in the chat. Cause I had said, nah, man, I had to get him out of here, bro. He was telling about the double album, but I was joking, and I knew I was joking. But I guess, in text messages, obviously, tone is not always translated well. So had to handle that. And after all the back and forth goes through and this and the other, we finally get that sorted. And, the misunderstanding is, all of that's dead in the water now. So everything is good on that note. But me running a business and trying to run this, there are now like maybe 20 plus 30, maybe even artists in here. So, some brand new, have never worked with us before. And this is their first interaction with us. And now I'm playing damage control, and I'm sending DMs, and I'm like, oh, I'm sorry that y'all had to see all of that and this, that, and the other. I hope that doesn't affect you wanting to be, a part of this project. And that's not, what this project is about and stuff. There was just some misunderstandings, all of that stuff. Right. So I'm having to do all of that. And luckily, a lot of them didn't even see the messages before they were able to be, deleted. They, the other people that sent the voice messages and stuff, they deleted their messages, and, I cleaned the chat out and stuff. So luckily everything was able to go smooth going forward. So ultimately, right, I end up deciding to do 2 discs, not 2 discs the way that it was initially said before, but I did a prelude. And I named it The Prelude, a Marvels project. And then the actual Marvels 4 was just called The Marvels 4. The Prelude was, when me and Diero and Pop, when we were making our list of all the final songs and stuff, and we were like, okay, collectively we agree these songs fit better on the actual Marvels project. These are the, air quotes, the better songs. None of the songs were bad. It was just when we were trying to pick out like what would be the most successful commercially, that would bring in money, that we would be able to use for 1033 Foundation and the Bell Jones Scholarship. We were trying to think like, in that situation, I did have to go back to thinking about commercial success and financial success, because I was trying to raise money for scholarships and school supplies for children in the area. So everything goes how it goes. You know, we put out the prelude. I think we put out the prelude maybe a week before Marvel's 4. But both projects went up in tandem and stuff. And overall, even though there were a few hiccups, there were a few artists that waited to the last minute and had to get cut because they waited to the last minute. And I was tired of being so understanding to the point where I allowed people to just disrespect my time. So some people got cut. Some songs got cut. Some people just, some people stole some beats and made off with them. And I was just like, wow, okay, so are they sending that song in? And it was just, nope. They just took the beat and went. And, it is what it is. I'm not sweating it at that time because I was like, whatever, project's done anyway. There was a bit of tension when it came to like how certain things were edited and all of that. But one thing I did make sure to do, I said, hey, nobody's getting any songs from this project. If you hear a song and you're like, you know what, man, I really want to release that song on my own, here, take it. No problem at all. I love that you love the song. I hope that you are able to put the song up well. But I didn't want the same issue where Apple or Spotify tried to take down Marvel's 4 or the prelude because they said that I didn't own the songs. Like, I made sure, like, no, all of these songs are exclusive to Marvel, I hope not, are exclusive to the Marvel's project. They're not getting released as singles. They're not going on anybody else's album. It's only for Marvel's. So after all that was said and done, after all the, tension and everything, I really sat back and I looked at it and I put up the documentary that we were able to film a little bit of. And it was just like, yeah, you know what? This is a good time to end it before it gets a negative connotation. Like, I don't want to feel like I dislike the Marvel's projects because the whole idea I still felt was such a great idea. And, it was a great period for me, for us as artists to do all that. But it was definitely one of those things where it's like, oh, all good things got to come to an end. So looking back on it, I'm like, man, it was such a fun thing to do. I think a lot of egos began to clash from a lot of young people. And I do hope that in the future, if there's ever an opportunity for me to do something like that again, it will be able to be done much better. I remember when we were first doing stuff, we got a lot of similarities drawn from when Dreamville did the Revenge of the Dreamers session, I believe it was. Revenge of the Dreamers 3, I think. And I was like, man, as great as that is for that comparison to be made, it sucks because then it just feels like, oh, they're just copying them. But I'm like, no, man, we're on Marvel's 4 at this time, I'm pretty sure. And they're doing Revenge of the Dreamers 3. But that was the first time they had done that whole like send invitations out and everybody pulls up to the studio and this, that, and the other. And they were in there for days. And like when that happened and we were seeing that happen, we were like, man, I wish we were able to do it like that when we were doing the Marvel's projects and stuff. But I'm glad the similarities were drawn because in a way it makes it feel like people respected what we were doing enough to have it draw the comparison. So, Pop has always said a lot of my ideas have just been unfortunately timed, where like a lot of the direct to consumer stuff I've been doing since I was 13, but I just didn't have eyes on me and it wasn't something that people cared about back then because streaming was just getting its legs, right? And then with the sessions like that and doing the collab project and all that, he was like, oh man, unfortunate timing that they're doing one in the same way and they're bigger than you. And I'm just like, hey, I am never one to feel like my ideas are so unique that nobody will ever have them ever again. If anything, it shows me I had such a great idea that the idea was spread out amongst people because the idea needed to be completed because the idea was so grand. So yeah, Marvel's 4 and the Prelude, they were the last ones. I did try. I've scrubbed evidence of it from the internet now, I think, but I did try not too long ago, maybe 2022, 2023. I did try to bring the Marvels back and do the Marvels 5. And that's when I finally did the partnership with High Note. And I set stuff up and I had beats in there and I had producers and everybody could DM back and forth on the site, comment on versions of songs. It was, like I said, it was just a very good music collaboration suite. Unfortunately, I saw very early on some of the same signs. I saw a lot of ill preparedness. I had given months in advance. Like, I think I put this on a 6-month timetable to give people plenty of time. And unfortunately, barely anybody ever made demos. Barely anybody ever, reached out about what beats they wanted to use. And I was like, okay, I got it. So, and mind you, everybody, I asked if you wanted to participate. It wasn't like I forced people to participate. It was invite and participation. So if I sent you an invite, you didn't have to accept it. If you did accept it, then I was under the impression that you were ready to work. And unfortunately, I just saw the writing on the wall that it was going to be a little more of the same. And I stopped it before it even got too far along. And I went ahead and canceled it because it didn't seem like anybody was really invested in participating. So hopefully one day I'm able to do something else like that. I've tried to do other things since then. I did the Homebodies session, I believe it was. No. It wasn't the Homebodies session. It was, oh man, I can't remember what it was called, but we did one. And the songs that came from it, I think Pop Casso ended up using one of them, or he ended up being on one of them, and Penn Fields recorded the song. But overall, that day, it was much more of it was a chill studio session. It wasn't like we were trying to get a project done. Some people pulled up and showed their beats and got some guidance on that. Vika showed up. She showed some beats and some songs she was working on. A couple collaborations came out of that. Gave her a computer so she could have something to use. It was my old Mac desktop. Hey, it held me down, and I told her, I was like, hey, if you can use it, you can use it. If you can't, hey, it's no big deal. But yeah, overall, start to finish, Marvels 1 to Marvels 4, it was a great experience despite the negative things that came with it in certain instances. Overall, I would still say it was a positive experience. So I'll play a song from Marvels 4, and I'll play a song from the Prelude. I'll play a song from the Prelude first, and then I'll play a song from Marvels 4, and that's going to be that.
The Marvels.
Oh, I'm so sick of this. No sickness is as sick as living in the system called US. It's a pitfall swallowing all the citizens and false pretenses. Again, lies and bro, I'm sick of this misinformation across the nation. Red flags are waving, patient snakes are playing with people's patience, raising stakes and staking claims and games designed to send eyes away. You don't wanna see, but I don't believe there's no love in these folks governing. Somebody, is there somebody? Is there anyone who our people can trust? Please don't be afraid. Step into the light. Tell me how to develop methods of better living. I'm ready to change my life. I'm with God ever since He showed me a premonition.
It came to pass, now I'm energized. Yet I felt so many times trying to get it right. Still ain't quite got it how I like. Quiet still, sight set on the edge of night, waiting for the sun to rise to remind us of better times. Yeah. We all deal with nostalgia in the long winter, starving for a startup of the start in us. To spar with the facade, spinning the stall in us, and call everyone kin, tell them we all winners. We all can win the day. We all can win the day. We don't wanna see, but I don't believe there's no love in these folks governing. Somebody, is there somebody? Is there anyone who our people can trust? Please don't be afraid. Step into the light.
With a man stuck in his chains, cried in my vision chains. True to myself, cards that I dealt, I will remain. Why would I sell my soul for gold? I'm not insane. I'll struggle and go through pain, through all of the wisdom gained. No, they don't know, but I reveal them. Why you slaving this fool? I'm losing feelings. Why the world so cold? We need some healers. We need some heroes for the
We
villains.
don't wanna see, but I don't believe there's no love in these folks governing. Somebody, is there somebody? Is there anyone who our people can trust? Please don't be afraid. Step into the light. We don't wanna see, but I don't believe there's no love in these folks governing. Somebody, is there somebody? Is there anyone who our people can trust? Please don't be afraid. Step into the light.
The Marvels.
In the moonlight, the night is right for us to dance. If the groove right, the sunlight won't get a chance. In the moonlight, the night is right for us to dance. If the groove right, the sunlight won't get a chance. In the moonlight, in the moonlight, in the moonlight, in the moonlight.
Yeah, I said, baby, I've been staring at you heavy, you agree? Cause I've caught your eyes too many times to get no guarantee. Now you brushing off your shirt and make your way over to me. Ask me would I like to dance, I said my knees might be too weak. Now we could spend the day in bed, listen to music, or stay out till the sun comes up, depends on what you choose. And baby, I'm just grooving. How are you so smooth? And do you think that I'ma be catching a ride with you then?
Caress my body with your cosmic rays. Give me the light enough to ease my pain. Caress my body with your cosmic rays. Give me the light enough to ease my pain. In the moonlight, the
Looks like there is no limit and the moon's running. Looks so good under the moonlight. When close to your body, you wanna stop your pain. I can see the same smile forming on your face. Well, let me know if you wanna go right away. But ooh, girl, I know I'd rather you stay. You and me.
Caress my body with your cosmic rays. Give me the light enough to ease my pain. Caress my body with your cosmic rays. Give me the light enough